So more importantly, why are we not doing trials? Why are we not doing trials routinely at point of care? Whenever somebody comes through, metformin hasn't worked, why aren't we saying, all right, look, there's a big red button here in EMIS, it says randomize, and I'm going to randomly assign you to one second-line diabetes treatment or another, and none of us will ever have to think about it again. We'll get all the follow-up data from the electronic health record, so we'll find out if you've been admitted, if you've had a heart attack, we'll be able to monitor your HbA1c. Not that anyone should care about your blood measures, right? I care about heart attack, stroke, death, gammy legs, blindness, dodgy kidneys, right? Real-world stuff. And we could do all of that, and we could do it practically for free. We could run clinical trials, not for $10,000 a patient. We could run clinical trials for about 50p a patient. So that's exactly what we set out to do. About 5 years ago, I was a bit player, a project funded, one by NIHL, one by Wellcome, and the ambition was, can we do a trial? It was head-to-head comparison of statins in primary care. Over 100 million people take statins every day, but we still don't know which is the best statin treatment regime, especially not then. So we said, well, let's just do a head-to-head comparison, one statin versus another, press a big button, never have to think about it ever again. Now, what do you think happened when we tried to do that? And we tried to do it just to see what would stop us, right? What stopped us? Well, principally, this is why it's important, you need huge numbers. Principally, it was these chaps, the people in the black polo necks on the ethics committees. And they said, if you're going to randomly assign one patient to one thing and one thing to another, then you have to go through a 20-minute long consent process and chat to them about the side effects and everything like that. And I said, well, there is literally no doctor in the world who has had a 20-minute conversation with somebody about side effects before prescribing a torvastatin. That's insane. I'm not criticizing anyone. What I'm saying is there shouldn't be a difference. It should be one rule for the person who's randomizing and the same rule for the person who's not. Because the person who's not randomizing, who's not generating new knowledge, who's perpetuating our ignorance, is inflicting a far greater harm on the population than the person who's randomizing. So they wanted a 20-minute long consent process, a 7-page long consent form. Then MHRA wanted to do site inspections of like thousands. We want to try and run trials in every single GP practice. They said if any cholesterol that's ever taken by any nurse in any practice is ever used as an outcome in your trial, then the nurse in that practice has to have gone through ICH GCP compliant nurse research training. You laugh, right? That's why you can't have nice things, okay? And this is not okay, because patients suffer on a biblical scale, but in a very hidden way when we don't resolve clinical uncertainties. And it's not as if there isn't already arbitrary treatment variation, right? We are inflicting arbitrary treatment variation on patients all the time. If that was a proper postcode lottery, I'd be happy it'd be a cluster randomized trial, but it's not quite, right? So, how do you fix this? Conventional academic papers are not the answer, right? There's no need for people to go around awarding themselves a point on their CV for publishing another big randomized trial in the Lancet or the New England Journal. No individual trial is a worthwhile breakthrough in the world of evidence-based medicine. The prize should be for the person who becomes the Henry Ford of clinical trials, the person who says no treatment uncertainty without randomization. Wherever we see uncertainty, randomize me. You are not protecting me. By preventing me from being randomized, you are withholding valuable information from me and the whole of society. And if you want to get that done, you don't get that done by writing papers. You get that by putting together a coordinated policy campaign that includes lawyers who give people, civil servants hate judicial reviews. I've seen it on the inside. They can't bear it. It's so, anxiety is the dominant feeling tone in academia and the civil service. Medicine is different. We're used to it. But they can't bear it. It's terrifying. So judicial reviews, you need lobbyists, you need PR people to rope in patients and get proper targeted campaigns. And you need clinicians, of course, and you need academic trialists, but they are bit players in this project of culture change. And that is not an academic paper.